Welcome to the Thrivers Club at Betty's Sweet Spot. I want you to please subscribe and give me thumbs up later. I hope you like my video, my tribute to my son Jason. And like I said before, through my journaling, I ended up writing this book, Survivor to Thriver, A Mother's Journey Toward Peace After Her Son's Murder. And in it, I had 7 strategies that helped me get through the most awful time of my life. The first one is cry it out. I want to tell you the story about when my son, when they first knocked on my door. I was living in Huntington Beach. I always had this premonition that my son would be murdered at 17. As a teenager. And so I rented out my house and got a condo in Huntington Beach and got him in college, and he was in Brooks College, staying in the dorm. Came to see me that Friday. I went to bed, and about 9:30 heard this knock at the door. Knock, 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 knock. I sleep hard, but I woke up and went to the door, and there were these 2 burly policemen at my door, and I'm like, what did he do? And they're like, he didn't do anything. He was shot. And I'm like, shot? Is he dead? And they're like, no, he's at the hospital. So they waited while I was getting dressed. I went upstairs to get dressed, and I came downstairs all ready to go to the hospital, not knowing what I was going to see. And the policeman got off the phone and told me he didn't make it. Like, he didn't make it. Yeah, he's gone. And I remember clutching my heart and falling down on the floor and just crawling to the bathroom and just throwing up bile. And then I called my sister, my daughter, and my other friends. Yeah. So, crying is what we're talking about right now. And strong emotions cause our brains to release chemicals that indirectly lead to teary eyes. Okay? And so, this tears not only shoots up our level of endorphins, this natural chemical within the body provides a sense of well-being, and it helps to relieve stress. So tears are very important for your health. Going to support groups, that helped me. I would cry even more in those groups because I hear these other mother stories, and I'm shedding tears for them. And a lot of times I'm feeling so sorry for them that I'm not even feeling as bad for myself, because a lot of their murders were like even worse. So my advice to you, whenever you feel like crying, cry. I would be on the freeway and crying so hard I had to pull over and just cry. But one thing for sure, you're not going to cry forever. And you need to understand this also, men especially. Crying is not a sign of weakness. You know, poor little boys, they're told, suck it up. Little big boys don't cry. And that's probably why they're so messed up. Men are so messed up now because they are told not to release their tears, you know, and to show their feelings. But I think it's kind of sexy. You know, I'm watching a guy who was watching a movie that's a tearjerker, and he sheds a tear. But I don't like it. Nobody likes a crybaby. I don't like a female crybaby. Don't like a male crybaby. I really did like Tyrese. I thought he was sexy. Sweet lady. I love that song. Would you be mine? And his body's all cut. And then I saw him walking around, videotaping himself, crying like a biatch. And I'm like, whoa, this is messed up. Why is he doing that? So crying is not always the best thing for men. You just know when to do it, you know. And I saw another day, this woman must have left him and he was running behind her. Please, baby, please, baby, please. And she was like giving him the hand because who wants a weak man falling behind you crying like that? And one thing I want to impress upon you is not to be afraid to cry. You hear me? Whenever you get that crying feeling, just let it go. It's not going to last forever. And then you get it out, and then pretty soon you start thinking of something else, and then you're on to the next. Out of all the species in the world, humans are the only ones who shed tears. The situations that make us cry are like ones that we remember most. It shows that we're sensitive, and in that way, it's important for us as a species for our survival. Tears are very important for survival. Spilling tears is something we all need to do to stay healthy. Dis-ease, D-I-S, the separate word E-A-S-E, in the brain translate to disease, D-I-S-E-A-S-E, in the body. So, it's important to do whatever it takes to ease that brain. And if it takes crying it out, cry it out. I have a question. Camera woman. Do you think monkeys cry?
I
Because I
don't
said
know.
only humans cry.
I don't think. I think so. I think I've seen.
You seen a monkey cry?
Yeah, in the Jungle Book.
No. Real monkey. Okay,
Monkey.
We're gonna have to Google that later. Okay, my audience, Google that. Tell me, write me, and let me know if you know if monkeys cry. Before we go, well, there's so many reasons why we cry, right? We cry and it's like, I'm so heavy, or I won something and you just jumping up and down and you just is crying, or if you just missed getting run over and you like crying with relief, I'm so heavy I didn't get hit, you know, or you so mad I could tear your head off and shit in your neck, that kind of crying where you just so mad you just shedding tears. And then there's the crying, it's like, oh, it's so good. Have you ever had sex, camera woman, that it was so good that you cried?
Yes.
You did? Where is he?
So good. Where is he is the question.
I have a couple of times, but I want to share this with you. Can I say yes, I think? Now, this is not a Trump story. This is a true story. My father told me this story. My father's a preacher and he didn't lie. I don't think. So, he was saying that they were at home and my Uncle Bobby, he and my grandfather, they were sitting at the breakfast table eating, and my grandmother had made these big old homemade fluffy biscuits, and they had this freshly churned butter that he put in it, and he had some molasses, and he was taking that hot biscuits and sopping up the molasses and just eating them. And tears were just streaming down his face. He was like, eating it. And my grandfather looked at him and said, boy, what's wrong with you? He said, it's so good. Have you ever had anything that good? Anyway, I want to thank you for tuning in. And I want you to subscribe and give me thumbs up. Peace out.